ladies and gentlemen. It is another Monday night. We are the Millie Goats. Welcome back to the Monday Night Football Instant Recap Show between the Chiefs and the Commanders. And the Chiefs are 5-3, 4-1 at home. They win 28-7, and the recap is over because this was an absolute mollywhopping. It was, a little interesting early on with we've got, obviously, I'm AK. We do this every Monday night. We've got the leather-bound book here. For those of you who can't see me and you're listening to the podcast, I write down notes in the leather-bound notebook throughout the game, and then we talk about the notes, and then we go over the box scores and things like that. And so we just talk football for about 15 or 20 minutes. We're actually in here early tonight. Usually it's like an 11:30 thing, but I'm starting about 20 minutes early because we've been dealing with double headers, and those are absolutely brutal. But you know what? The show goes on. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. So the Commanders coming into this game, obviously Jayden Daniels was hurt, so we get the Marcus Mariota show again. And it's exactly what the Marcus Mariota show has been for like 10 years, which is can move a little bit. We'll make a few good throws, and then nothing really special after that. That's easy for me to say, sitting on my couch, sitting there eating protein chips, being like, this guy stinks. Ugh. But, it's not about the Commanders. The Commanders, for the most part, we're talking about a 7-7 game at half. So I think at least it was entertaining for a little while. B. McCormick's here, always, goats only. He knows the deal. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to the podcast, please subscribe to the show, rate the show, review the show. We like doing this. It's a lot of fun, and we love seeing the numbers that have been going up on the podcast downloads, so we appreciate everybody's support. We also have hats, too. Shout out Howdy Hats. But you don't want to look at my face all day, so we're gonna make this short and sweet because that's what it was. It was short and sweet. It was like, hey, this game's close at half, 7-7. We got Mahomes throwing for 300, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions early on. We're gonna go down through each one. Kelsey, his resurgence game, 6 receptions, 99 yards, and a touchdown. This was just the Commanders. I don't know. It's weird. The Chiefs have given up 7 points in their last 2 games. They smoked the Raiders last week. They smoked the Commanders this week. But I look at this and I'm like, okay, so they beat the Raiders and they beat the Commanders, and everybody's like, the Chiefs are back. And I'm not saying they're not. They're out there doing, they're out there running plays. They got the wishbone going. They got they're running the full house. They're running the wing T formation. Like, they're doing all their Chiefsy tricky things. They're one of their tackles was out tonight for personal reasons. So, it was interesting early on, I guess. When you start, let's go ahead and you go down the list here with the notebook of truth. Pat Mahomes is, yeah, exactly, B. McCork, 7-7.5, and you're sitting here thinking, hey, now hey, that's great. Thank you, Commanders. You gave us something to watch for 2 hours. Phenomenal. Why is the World Series going on? I thought it was. What's going on here? Why am I watching Poker Night? I thought I was watching the World Series, but I guess we're not doing that. Oh, it's on Fox. What am I, an idiot? Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Tied 5-5 in the World Series. Let's go. But the Chiefs were never really in doubt. Like, if you we love looking at the win probability. Ask the New York Giants how that went. Ask who was it this past week too? The Bengals, I think. But the Chiefs never in doubt. But anyway, so you start off in the fourth quarter, or first quarter, we get 0-0. We got nothing in the first quarter from either. We had first of all, let's go before the game. Shout out the guy who sung the anthem. That was a very nice rendition of the anthem. I always salute. My son also knows. Get up, stand up out of your chair, hand over the heart when you're listening to the national anthem. I don't care if you're at the game, if you're not at the game. That song is on, we are butts out of the chairs immediately. So we start off, and Washington actually was moving the ball. I haven't looked at the total numbers yet. We'll do that together. But they were actually moving the ball fairly well up and down the field. It's just they couldn't capitalize. So Terry McLaurin had his return game. He had a nice game. But Washington was driving on the first drive, and we get a clanger off of Deebo's face. We get a clanger off of Deebo Samuel's face right into the arms of the defensive end for the Chiefs, and then that's your first turnover. The very next drive, Mahomes throws a pick. So we're just sitting here trading picks back and forth, and there's really nothing going on in the first quarter. We got, I think there was late in the first quarter, there was a, let's address this, the elephant in the room here. This virtual measurement it's disgusting. It's pathetic. We can't have the virtual measurement being the thing for the rest of the year. Like, we got to get the chain gang back out there. That was a perfect opportunity. Ertz, is he short? Is he not? You get they got the ball spotted, and then they just, it's nothing. We got no theatrics, nothing. At least give me a virtual chain gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be like, oh, here's a lot. Like, you can make Pat Mahomes, what's his face, Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, Guardians of the AFC, but you can't make a virtual chain gang that you can be like, okay, here's where the ball is on the field. Make it SpongeBob or something. Do something cool. Don't just show us that stupid line and the ball. Come on. Be better than that. Don't do that. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh, anyway, Zach Ertz, I think they reviewed and they ended up getting the first down. That was about the action of the first quarter, other than the 2 picks. Second quarter, Kelsey clangs one off his hands. Mahomes throws a second interception. So we're all perked up. The ears are perked up here. We got the Commanders, getting 2 turnovers here in the first 2 quarters. And then they went down and didn't get a fourth down, Washington. So then we had the Rashee Rice. I don't even know what I wrote there. Oh, he was short. So the first touchdown they scored, the Chiefs, was the Rashee Rice. He's going up the sideline, right near the pylon, and his foot kind of he doesn't make it. He almost makes it, but no, that wasn't the one. That was when they put him in the backfield. They put Rashee Rice in the backfield, after they ran the wing tee, and then they put Rashee Rice in the backfield, and he takes the direct snap and goes straight up Broadway, and he does a leaping kind of, reaches his arm out, but he's a little short. Then Kareem Hunt just plunges in after that. And then Washington comes back down with less than a minute. Terry toe taps. I think they have this crazy stat about Terry McLaurin. That was his 3rd toe tap touchdown since I can't remember when. I think last year, which was tied for the most with Jamar Chase. Like, what a stat, dude. Toe tap touchdown. You got to love it. So shout out to ESPN for even finding that. It's incredible. We go into half. It's 7-7. I'm over there washing dishes and cleaning up the kitchen and such, and I'm like, hey, we got ourselves a game here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think the Commanders actually could win. I mean, they were completely overmatched and outmanned, and eventually their defense, which is old, was gonna break down, and it obviously did in the second half because Chiefs scored 21 and they ended up winning by 21, and the line was 20.5. I'm pretty sure it was 20.5. So yeah, we'll check that out in a minute, but. Third quarter, we get Mahomes doing his thing. They start the third quarter. We get a targeting call on Noah Gray on the opening drive, and then we had this little leak play. There was it was a bunch right, with 2 wide receivers up top. Kelsey tucked in off the ball, 1 receiver to the left of your screen, and everything's guarded up in the third quarter. And Kelsey just kind of leaks out to the right after the protection. Looks like he's fine because Mahomes had all day to throw. And Mahomes hits him, and there goes Kelsey down the sideline. And then Kareem Hunt jams one in after that again. So Kareem Hunt got a second touchdown. That was just a savvy. You got to give credit to Kelsey for just they're on another level. Those two, Mahomes and Kelsey, where they just he knew that everything was blocked up. I mean, Mahomes had forever to throw the football tonight. So, then the Commanders drop the kickoff and they're backed up on their own 3-yard line. And then we get another Travis Kelsey touchdown, 8-play, 75-yard drive from the Chiefs. They go up 21-0, and then Kelsey ties Priest Holmes for the most touchdowns by a Kansas City Chief with 83 or something. So, then they're flashing, there's Taylor Swift up there. And then the fourth quarter was kind of, again, the Commanders couldn't do anything. So the Chiefs had them locked down on defense. They just there's no zip in that offense without Jayden Daniels. They can't really run the football. We're going to look at all the numbers too, but you know, but Rashee Rice, 18-yard, he scored himself a touchdown TD pass from Mahomes. I think that was the one where it was like a little swing pass or something. I don't know. It was up the sideline. And then, late in the game, we get the old, sack the quarterback on Mahomes and the guy throws him down, you get a 15-yard penalty. So it's just like you can't do stuff like that if you're playing the Chiefs. You can't be going the extra mile to throw Mahomes to the ground. Like, you're going to get flack for that. And I'm not saying it was a bad call or whatever. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. So, but anyways, the Chiefs win 28-7. They're still third in their division, which is hilarious, but they're creeping back there. But I mean, it was just a clinic from the fact that they made a few mistakes. They had more penalties, right? Even with more penalties, right? They didn't do anything spectacularly, I don't think. Mahomes had a couple of turnovers. They had 26 first downs. That's what the Chiefs do. They just death by 1,000 cuts, really. You didn't see many big plays tonight other than the leak play from Kelsey, but they didn't really take many shots down the field. But in doing that, the Commanders kind of junked up the downfield passing lanes. And by doing that, they didn't really pressure the quarterback. So, whatever. The Commanders are 3-5, and I think they're in third in their division. They're behind the Cowboys, and it looks like the Eagles are about to run away with that thing. So, but hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So Travis Kelce recorded, he had 6 receptions. This is from Next Gen Stats. On 8 targets for 99 yards and a touchdown against the Commanders. All his production coming against zone coverage. This marks Kelce's most receiving yards against zone since Week 3 of 2023 against the Chargers. Back then. That's when he had 103 yards. But so the Commanders were trying to run a bunch of zone coverage against him. And again, it's fine if you can get to the quarterback, but if you can't get to the quarterback, Mahomes is going to eat you alive. So, but Pacheco got hurt late. I saw them doing the anterior drawer test for his ACL. He took a low hit. It looked like it was negative, so he was jumping around and all excited, but they'll probably have to do some imaging on that bad boy. So the duo of Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco continues to roll on for the Chiefs. It's incredible. I mean, there wasn't really any notes to this game, right? Like, there wasn't a big flashy play other than that leak play to Kelsey, and it was just the Chiefs kind of plugging along, doing their thing. They're nothing spectacular. It's just, it's just, they're like a steakhouse. Colin Cowher, this thing. They're like a steakhouse. And how many times are they going to show 1587 Steakhouse on if they're getting free marketing? Do Pat Mahomes and Kelsey pay ESPN to show their steakhouse? I mean, what's the deal here? Every time the Chiefs play, we got to look at, there's 1580. Okay, we get it. You're trying to make it an exclusive whatever. But holy smokes. I mean, the food might be good. I've never been there. I don't know. But I'm just, they're getting free marketing out of this thing. So, I love looking at the team stats because it just, like, you could read this and be like, oh, that's what happened. Every time I always get flustered. Chiefs almost doubled them up in first downs. Third down efficiency. I mean, the Commanders were okay. It's just they couldn't get to the red zone. They couldn't do anything in the red zone. By the way, that throw by Mariota to McLaurin, Terry toe taps, that was a great throw. That was a dime. He threw a couple of them to McLaurin. The one down the sideline, that was a good throw too. Chiefs were 4-10 on third down. Fourth down, the Chiefs went for it twice. They got it twice. Total yards, Chiefs had 432. Commanders had 260. Yards per play, the Chiefs were 6.4. The Commanders were 5.0. Rushing, the Chiefs actually ran for over 100 yards. I mean, they 148 yards for the Chiefs, only 60 for the Commanders. That's bad. Red zone, again, the Commanders only got there twice. They were 1 for 2, and the Chiefs were 4 for 4. That's, like, as a 49ers fan, you can see the flag behind me. That's the most frustrating part, is Andy Reid in the red zone is absolutely, and Pat Mahomes are lethal in the red zone. Always have been, always will be. And as a 49ers fan, when the Niners get to the red zone, it's hit or miss. So it's infuriating. So to be a team that's that good, 4-4 in the red zone, and I think Pat Mahomes on the opening drive, that was his 6th opening drive touchdown this year or something. It's the most in the league. Or Chiefs actually had 9 penalties for 95 yards, and the Commanders only had 3 penalties for 35 yards. Time of possession 34 minutes for the Chiefs, 26 minutes for the Commanders. So there you go. That's the story. That's it. I want to see how much did Mahomes rush for? Who's the leading rusher for the Chiefs? Okay, Pacheco 12 for 58, Kareem Hunt 9 for 40. And then Mahomes had 30 yards rushing. So Mariota had 28 yards rushing. He was the Commanders' leading rusher. Like, I don't know, man. We got to get some good. The Chiefs play the Bills next. So that's, we're going to find out. That game every year is an absolute fireworks. So let's see how many different players caught a pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different players for the Chiefs. There you go. So he's spreading the ball around. Not as good as Mariota, though. Mariota had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 receptions. 8 different receivers. So there you go. But anyways, Chiefs win 28-7. They're back in business. There's not much else to say. Chiefs fans, they can be excited. They can do their thing. They can go to work tomorrow and poke their chests out and say, we're back. And everybody thought we were dead. And they can do the Undertaker meme and GIF and all that stuff. So we get it. We understand. We know. So still third in your division. Maybe in the playoff picture. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Monday Night Recap Show. I'm going to get out of here and get done early. And then we're going to, I don't even know what I just hit right there. We're going to get out of here and everybody have a nice Tuesday. We're going to be back Wednesday with our preview show for Thursday night. Here is where you can follow us on all the social medias. We had a new podcast for recap of college football and NFL that just dropped this morning. This will be out Monday morning, our latest one. So if you haven't listened to that one and you're tuning in late, go check that one out. Go check out our latest one. That's when all the guys are together. We're talking college football. We're talking NFL. We're talking our teams. So we try to keep it. We try to keep it for reals. Go follow us on social medias: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, anywhere you find your podcast, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, Good Pods, anywhere. Go download the podcast, go subscribe, go rate, go review. We appreciate everybody that does that. Everybody had a nice Tuesday. We'll be back on Wednesday night. That's it. Go Niners.